Welcome to Real Estate Riches, where Kathy Byrnes empowers realtors to achieve the success they've always dreamed of. Starting her career at 55, Kathy built a thriving business that offers the freedom of time and financial independence. And now she's sharing her journey to help others do the same. Whether new to the industry or looking to level up, this channel is your hub for proven strategies, inspiring stories, and the tools you need to grow your real estate business. Join Kathy each week to explore global opportunities, successful systems, and expert insights to take your career to the next level. Get comfortable, pick a video, and start learning. Your journey to success starts now.
Hey everybody, welcome. It's Kathy Byrnes here with Real Estate Riches, and I have a really good friend here, excited to have him on, JM, who is the country leader in Portugal for EXP. Welcome.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me here, Kathy.
I'm very excited. We just actually met. I call him my friend because I feel like he's a buddy. Anyway, we just met in June of this last year when I was in Lisbon, and just connected really well. And he has come to EXP and become the country leader and really making things happen, which is exciting. And it's a country that I have a passion for and have really been promoting and wanting to do business there and help work with different agents over there, because they have a lot of luxury market that a lot of luxury American buyers want to either invest in or retire in, and it's a big deal. So you want to tell us a little background about you, buddy?
Yeah, of course. And after Lisbon, we met in Miami as well. Yeah, and here we are again. So, well, about me, I started real estate in 2006. Most of this period I've worked in the mass market area, and basically Lisbon, although I started in the Algarve, down south in the Algarve, where I stayed for 5 years, but then I moved back again to Lisbon, and I've been working in this area. Well, for the last 3 years, I had a completely different experience, which was working for a small independent boutique, real estate boutique outside Lisbon in Estoril, working in, I don't like to use the word luxury, but high-end properties here in Portugal, and working mainly with expats. So especially American Brazilians that want to live or invest in Portugal. Well, and that was an amazing experience because it's a different game. You have to unlearn and learn a lot of new stuff to deal with this specific niche market. But then again, I was surprised for an invitation like 5-6 months ago from Felix Bravo, our vice president. And here I am for the last 4 months.
Yes, and it's been a real transformation, because I think when companies open up in new countries, they do the best they can to hire people that'll do a wonderful job, and some do better than others. And we needed some more support, a better support, and I was in the meeting with Felix when he met you, and he recognized right away, you're the man. He wanted you and pursued you, and fortunately you said yes, and we're getting all kinds of rave reviews from the EXP agents that are working with you in Portugal. So that's kudos to you, buddy.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Well, and then another cool feature that we have at EXP is something that we have, a shared sponsorship program that's brand new. And I have been pursuing different agents who might want to come to work at EXP. And if you go out of country, there's a challenge for, let's say, a Portuguese agent to feel comfortable about having a sponsor in another country. Like, I'm not in the proximity. It's the same thing in the States. Whereas if I met somebody in California and I introduced them to EXP and they said, well, you're not in California. I know, but I could still, with technology today, it's a breeze. But different countries, kind of a different story. And the brilliance...
Especially in Europe.
Yes.
Especially in Europe.
And so Glenn Sanford, I don't know who it was who came up with it, but Glenn Sanford, the founder, announced this program where we could have a local sponsor partner with us,
Mm-hmm.
and they would be boots on the ground for our person that we were bringing on. And that's what you and I did together this week. We have our first agent that's onboarding and with this new program, so it's exciting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And again, we onboarded a couple from the US agents with EXP, and then they moved to Portugal, and now they want to work here. It's not the local sponsor program, but then again, we EXP found a way of solving a problem, which is not just the language barrier because you
Right.
can speak Portuguese and English, but it's the legal stuff. It's all the
Right.
documentation. It's completely different. Okay. So
Yeah.
real estate, it's pretty much the same all over the world, but the documents, all the procedures are completely different. So
Yeah.
the local sponsor program is very interesting because you can have an agent that wants to move to Portugal and he will be in your downline, but he will have a local sponsor, so someone here in Portugal that will support him regarding all this new stuff that he needs to work with to start doing business in Portugal. So basically, it's a very cool feature that EXP has to support. Well, we are a global company and we need to have that global support.
Yes, and I was telling you earlier when I came to Lisbon and I was at our EXP Con, it was our first international convention, and one of the speakers said to the audience, you need to think bigger. And I thought, boy, I always thought I thought big, but man, when I started meeting people, and also AI is a big piece of all of this because the technology, and EXP is a meta company, it's a tech company. And so here's our world global already, but technology is pulling us together. EXP is the leader in this whole meta platform idea with 3 new countries being announced this in Miami when we were together there, and they all start this year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's ridiculous really to keep thinking of just your little general territory, especially when the market is rough, because it isn't an easy market. And
Yep.
until you start thinking global. And now, like me, I've been doing articles in LinkedIn and all my social media about Portugal for the past 12 weeks because I'm looking to educate people more on Portugal because I like it there a lot and would love to have a place there myself. That's the goal. And so I wanted to let people know that we can start to think bigger, see different areas that people are very interested because Portugal is a very popular place for
Yeah,
expats, for
yeah, it's under the
retirees.
radar now.
Yes.
It's
And
under the radar.
you were talking earlier, we have a similar problem in the States that people will call up and say, well, I'm interested in a range of an area. And really what they need to do, as you mentioned, was find the agent that covers these territories. You want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, yeah, I think it's very important. But then again, as you were saying, it's like thinking global, but acting local, because that's very, very important. Well, the agent for me choosing an agent for me is very, very important in this process, because then again, Portugal is a small country, smaller than any of the states, of the 50 states of the
Mm.
US, but it's a very different country from region to region. So,
Yeah.
for instance, when you have an agent here, and as I was telling you, this was one of the situations I had from the past. I had a couple from California, and they want to move to Portugal, and well, the surf vibe. Okay, so find us a place between, well, more or less near Lisbon and Porto. For us, it's 300 kilometers, more or less 200 miles.
Mm.
And when I heard this, I said, okay, this is a big problem because you have so many different villas and types of properties and cities and villages and beaches there. It's completely different, so we need to narrow this down. And
Yes.
again, in Portugal, as most of the agents do either listings or work with buyers, it's very important to select the right buyer's agent, because that will be the person that will understand better the buyer's needs and will look for it. And again, it's completely different if you're buying in the region of Lisbon, the capital, or Porto, the second city, and we are talking about just 200 miles distance. But it's completely different. So choosing an agent, I would say it's the first step and most important step for the success of the purchase.
Yes. Are you seeing, I know the firm that you were with before, you said that was with a lot of expats, right? And I'm feeling like there's a lot of expats buying over there. Are they investing over there more than they are living there? Are they a true expat where they've moved there forever? Because I think it's a blend.
Yeah, there is, but the majority is coming to live here in Portugal. Maybe not the entire year, but to spend here long periods of time. More than investing, I would say. Obviously, there's always a blend, and some of them are also investors, but mainly the main reason for coming for Portugal, as Portugal is under the radar for a lot of things, is to live here. So
Gotcha.
to retire and live here. Mainly people that come to retire.
One of the things I know the firm that you were working with, and another gal, Lisa Bozeman, who is with EXP, she's working with a lot of developers. Both of them are working with developers, and they sell high-end properties where you can get them furnished, obviously for a fee, and then they can be managed. So the individual, like let's say from whether it's South Africa, the States, whatever, comes, buys that unit. Now they're part of a high-end property, and it's managed for them. It has the potential for appreciation, income producing, and a spot for them to come visit Portugal on a regular basis.
We have a lot of solutions, especially with new developments under the Golden Visa project that changed a bit over the last years. But mainly you can still find similar solution to that. So you have a property, you buy a property, you do the investment. There's a potential of increasing, selling the property or a buyback solution.
Oh, really?
Yeah, especially when you get the Golden Visa through this, the buyback option is always present. And you get a yield from that period, that 5-year period that you need for the Golden Visa. Sometimes it's a fixed yield, sometimes it's a variable. It depends a lot on the project itself, the way it's structured. But and you get a property that you can use for 1 or 2 weeks per year here in Portugal during the time. So that's an investment solution, typically an investment solution.
And I think, there's a lot of high-end luxury people who want to have a couple weeks here, a couple weeks there. Maybe they want to be in different parts of the Algarve, and maybe they want to be in Lisbon. So if you got a lot of excess money, which is my ideal client, then you can move it around in different places while it's making money and you're having fun.
Yeah, true. Right. Although, again, the country is not that big, so you can move from one region to the other, and we are talking about 200 miles.
Oh, I get it. What about, where are you seeing a lot of people moving from to Portugal? Do you see a trend at all?
From the US?
Yes.
The coasts, I would say mainly people from the coast,
like
the West
California?
Coast. Yeah, the West Coast, because then again, it's very similar. Even the vibe in some areas of Portugal, the surf vibe is very similar to the States. And also people from the East Coast, from Florida,
the Florida area.
Yeah.
Because the weather's warm in Portugal year round, isn't it?
Yes. Although for us, when we have like 50-ish Fahrenheit, it's freezing cold for us. But anyway, when you're compared to countries where you have snow, and
Yeah.
I'm talking about Europe.
Yeah.
It's snowing in the UK, in France, and
Yeah.
even in some parts of Spain. And here, as we are near the Atlantic, we have a very warm climate, and it's
Right.
very, even during the winter is very, very good. I
So,
believe that's one of the reasons why people move to Portugal. In the Algarve, we have a huge Swedish community.
really?
So, yeah, because they spend the winter here and the
Oh.
summer in Sweden. Okay.
That makes sense to me because in the States, I'm from Michigan, and where we would always go, there are two places. Either we went to Florida or we went to Arizona. It was kind
Yeah.
of split. You were going to the hot states in the
You
winter,
follow the sun and the warmth.
right? Same
Yeah.
thing. So, as far as EXP going, I know Glenn Stanford, our founder, he has a vision for the international side of the business over the next few years. And I'm seeing all kinds of new marketing happening for EXP International. Do you feel it really ramping up where you've got a lot of people on board saying, hey, we like this is a new kind of way of doing business and we're interested? Are you seeing that?
Yeah, more and more because, well, again, EXP is a very interesting real estate brokerage because by the end of the day, we are a tech company.
Yes.
And so we have a mix of both,
Mhm.
which represents, I would say, an opportunity and a challenge for some agents. More traditional agents
Yes.
will feel this as a threat, as a problem, because they're not that tech savvy.
Yeah.
Although by the end of the day, as you know more than anyone, and I know, it's not that difficult to work with our platforms. By the end of the day, it's even very easy to work with.
Yes.
But when you have that fixed idea, you have that idea that wow, it's so complicated, so tech, and that may represent. But the world is changing. So 10 years ago, we never thought of using Uber or
Yes.
Netflix or whatever, and now it's a common thing. So I believe that more and more, and it's very interesting, Kathy, because then again, when I see American agents moving from EXP US and then coming to Portugal and want to do even with a basic knowledge of Portuguese. And I say, okay, this is good because this represents what EXP is all about, is the
Yeah.
possibility of working worldwide with an amazing form that leverages your business. So
Yes.
yeah, we will internationally, exponentially. Well, Glenn, Glenn. Glenn is a visionary, and
Yeah.
well, last time, well, when we were in Miami, he said, "Yeah, we have around 90,000 agents all over, and I want to have 1 million." So
Yes. I love how
I love that. I love that. He didn't say 100,000 or 150. He said 1 million,
yeah.
like we are talking here. And that's amazing because I
Yeah.
believe we will get there. I
Oh, I do
believe we will.
too.
Yeah.
So I started 7 years ago. I started July in 2017 with EXP,
Mhm.
with no idea what it even was because I'd never heard of it. And I kind of fell into the opportunity of it because I had just joined a team.
Mhm.
And the team told me 2 weeks later they were going to EXP. And I had some turmoil going on in my life. And I'm like, whatever. I don't need any more turmoil. You're going to go. I trust you. I just went. And
You
then
just,
once I was there and I saw the stock and I saw the rev share and I saw just those two things. But more importantly, what I saw was collaboration, which I had not experienced in the real estate industry. And I got in the same year you did. No one shared. Now it's becoming much better throughout other companies. I think because EXP keeps talking about it so much because the agents here
yeah,
want ownership.
we are redefining the standards of real estate,
Yes.
and not only on the tech side, because again, on the human side of the business, this is by the end of the day, it's still human to human
Yes.
business. So it's very interesting. And when I saw that, especially in Miami, Lisbon, it was my first glimpse of EXP. I still hadn't joined the company, so I was looking from an outside perspective.
Yeah.
But when we met in Miami, it blew my mind away.
Yeah.
It's because it's so easy for you if you have some question, regardless what the question is, and someone will say to you, "Go and speak to that person," and
Yeah.
it's available for you. And again, obviously, our Icon program is also very interesting for that because we share information. When we reach a certain level of performance, we are to share our
Yes.
knowledge. Yesterday, we had an amazing boot camp, Rev Share boot camp with Bill Price. And he
He's
was
from here.
yeah, and he's great because he was sharing all the knowledge that he got from these last years doing RevShare, doing attraction. It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
really amazing.
He's a powerhouse. He would put on events here, and it would be about explaining the model, but also teaching somebody, like maybe it was a class on like how to farm, because he built his business by farming neighborhoods, and he stayed in one. And he talked about how he focused in and he built that. So he shared some gold that he knew would do it, and then he explained EXP, and that's how agents came on.
Yeah,
And
you said that yesterday.
yeah,
You give value, you give more
yes.
value than just presenting the
And And just like you said, the Icon program, how they designed it here is when you're a top level producer and you get this Icon status, first of all, you get your cap back, which is pretty impressive. And so you're basically working for free. I mean, paying EXP, it's like bonus. But those are the people, that level of talent is who's teaching us all kinds of stuff for free. We're
Yeah.
not we're not going to a bold camp at other companies that they have where you've got to go pay $800 or whatever to be trained. No, the best of the best are training us all 24/7. It feels like on our platform.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of the tech part of
Yes.
EXP because you can access anyone, anywhere in the world.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So many opportunities. Well, you and I are in love with it, and I'm so glad you came over.
Well, I believe it shows that we are in love with the EXP. It's pretty much obvious.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, anyway, I was not, as you know, I was not expecting to join EXP as a country manager, my
yes.
background, but I already had, I bought the idea way before even the proposal was made to.
Well, you got it. You got it very quickly. And I love that you did. And the rev share part you saw as well. For me, that's a big piece of it. That's part of why I do all that I'm doing, because I want people to have an open mind. That's the biggest problem we get so comfortable, we're uncomfortably comfortable. You know what I mean? You're in a position or you're in a firm and you like your little comfort zone of all the different people you're working with. But you're struggling. You're struggling in your business. You're struggling in your free time. And people are so afraid, but I like it here. But do you want better? What's it going to be like in 5 years? And people have to open up to at least look at it.
And dream bigger.
Dream bigger.
And dream bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Hey, buddy. Well, thank you so much. Do you have any other tips for us?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. Well, I believe not, but anyway, I'm here in Portugal and I'm available, as you know. So reach me for any time you need and for anything you need.
I appreciate that. And I'll have JM's information on there if you're interested in talking to him about Portugal. Call me first, but we'll talk to him.
Yeah. We'll be in touch, Kathy.
We'll be in touch.
Time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
thank you. Thank you again for having me.
So thanks for joining me on this episode of Real Estate Riches. Wasn't that great? I'm sure you got a nugget or two. I know I did. So if you liked it, please subscribe below, share it with everybody, make some comments. We really find that invaluable. And if you're thinking that you would love to talk about this a little bit more, let's schedule a business strategy call. I'll have the link below. Let's see if we can't mastermind together and see if we can empower each other. That would be great. So until next time, signing off. Hope to see you on the next one.